friends, I'm Tex Morris. Great to be with you here at Power of Prophecy as we expose the darkness and uplift the light that is Jesus Christ. You know, one of the things that has most disturbed me in the past several years is the incredible movement toward what has to be to become the most horrible tragedy of our day, and that is the literal building of concentration camps in America. You know, the Bible prophesies hard times for all people on earth in the last days, and Christians, until Jesus comes to gather us up again, will not be immune from tribulation. It says in Revelation 13 verse 7 that the beast from Satan, he will make war with the saints and overcome them. It says power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. One of the verses that has always broken my heart when I read it is Isaiah 57 verse 1, where we read simply, "The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth to heart." The righteous perish, and no man seems to care. You know, I don't want to be in the predicament of standing before my Lord and Savior one day in judgment, and He telling me, "You didn't care, Tex Morris." Some years, in fact, as a young man, I began having dreams. Now, I'm not a very mystical person, believe it or not, but I had dreams, and they were of a strange character, and I had the same dream over and over again. It was a dream that, and by the way, these dreams began when I was only 4 or 5 years of age, and they continued, the very same dream. I was in what appeared to be a concentration camp, although when they began, I had no idea what a concentration camp was at such a young and tender age. But I was behind barbed wire, and there was looked like these World War II type barracks, huge buildings, and everything was so hot and humid. And I looked about the camp, and that's what it was, a camp, and I saw that there were 3 great frog-like creatures like frogs. They were evil, they were ominous, and they were as big as men, even larger than men, and they stood guarding that barbed wire of the camp. And in my dream, I went into the barracks, and it was a barracks that had ceilings only 3 or 4 feet tall, so that you had to bend over, and they had rows after rows of beds, and the people were so miserable, unshaven, despoiled, dirty, lice-ridden, and oh, it was such a tragic scene. And of course they had on the typical prisoners' clothing, although much of it was ragged and torn, and they were so hungry. Now, my friends, this was a nightmare for me, and it occurred over and over. You know, it was only years later that I discovered in the book of Revelation, it tells us, it gives us the symbolical meaning of that. For in the last days, 3 spirits like frogs come forth out of the very pit of hell. 3 frogs. You see, a frog is considered an unclean night creature. And that was symbolic. And I think God was telling me something. And today, I do care. I take it to heart. And I remember even this very moment, the vividness of my dreams as a young man. And I knew someday I would have to do something about this dream, but I didn't know what. Well, today we're doing something. Today we're going to look at the gulags in the United States of America, the building of concentration camps, the planning, the preparations are already here. And my friends, you must understand what is really going on behind the scenes. We're going to document everything we say today. And you see if this is not so. You decide based on the documentation that you find in this video. Many people deny that there could be concentration camps in America. But listen to me, my friends. We're going to look at the history of concentration camps, and you will see we are not some kind of oasis. We are not immune from the terror to come, for it is prophesied. Proverbs 8, verse 36 gives us a tremendous secret. Why would men arrest, detain, torture, categorize, control, and lock up people behind barbed wire who are totally innocent? What kind of evil motive would such men have? And why would they put thousands to death, such as has been done in concentration camps? Here's what the Bible has to say. In Proverbs it says, all they that hate me love death. All they that hate me love death. These people have no love of Jesus Christ. And because of that, if they hate Christ, they will love death. And they do. You know, some years ago I wrote many books exposing the New Age movement. And these people, the New Agers, seem so full of love. And oh, they just want to hug everybody. Oh, it's such a wonderful thing. They're non-judgmental. And they're not haters at all. Oh, they're lovers. My friends, they'll love you to death. But listen to what Barbara Marx Hubbard, one of the top New Agers, she met with Mikhail Gorbachev at the State of the World Forum. Oh, she's so loved and appreciated at the United Nations. But here's what she says in her handbook of co-creation. She says, we come to bring death to those who are unable to know God. We do this for the sake of the world. The riders of the pale horse are about to pass among you. Grim reapers, they will separate the wheat from the chaff. She says, we will use whatever means we need to make this act of destruction as quick and painless as possible. To the one half of the world who are incapable of evolving, the selection process will be quick. How frightening. How ominous is this? The selection process will be quick. They will do their work of death, of the grim reaper, rapidly, they say. One half of the world, in today's term statistics, 3 billion people would be put to death. We're unfit. My friends, listen to me. We've had so many wonderful years in America, but Satan's fury can be unleashed in an instant. Don't at all doubt it, my friends. In one moment you're living in prosperity, driving nice cars, living in a nice home, watching your big screen television, and the next you're locked up in a concentration camp full of filth with sounds of horrible torture eking at you from just down the hall in those locked rooms of interrogation. I believe there has already been a plan set up. And this plan has been worked ever since World War II for the internment and the torture and the death of those who are the enemy. And who would the enemy be? My friends, I am the enemy, and you are the enemy if we have Jesus Christ inside our heart. If we have the truth, if we have the love of Christ, then those who hate Christ